Okay. Is the screen is visible? Okay. So in the previous lecture, we have covered some streams, right? In your syllabus, different streams parts are there in input output. Okay, out of that, we have covered some streams. Those streams are nothing but Java input output stream. Still, we have not covered actual input output stream. Only we have seen some input and outputs. Then we have covered file output stream and file input stream in previous lecture. Then buffered output stream and buffered input stream also we have covered. And last point we have covered, that is the sequence input stream. In sequence input stream, we can share our data with different files through our program. That is the use of sequence input stream. Now we are going to see byte array output stream and byte array input stream firstly, and then we will move towards the further parts. Okay. So these are the very important streams while handling the different files, while handling the data to take the input and output from the user. We will require all these things. For today's lecture, we will use the notepad only because here we are accessing different text files. So while accessing that text files, we have to see that outputs also. So if I have used the Eclipse to run this program, you will find out some confusion because I am changing the screen simultaneously and we are learning it online. So it may happen that that middle part will be get missed due to that speed. Okay, so for today's lecture, we will use the notepad only, so we can directly see both the text files simultaneously. Otherwise, what happens whenever we on the Eclipse, it might happen that that font size is not visible from your side. So from next lecture onwards or next chapter onwards, we will move towards the Eclipse. For this chapter, we will use the notepad only, so you can see the complete syntaxes properly. Okay. So we will start our byte array output stream. Okay. Java byte array output stream. Java byte array output stream class is used to write common data into multiple files. Means suppose I have written some message through our program, or we have taken that message from the user. Now consider, suppose we have written one message like a hello, okay, and we are taking input from the user, and we are going to save that input as processing it and making it as some output, and we are trying to save it into some files. At that time, we can write the common input to all multiple files, right? Let's suppose we are having 10 files with our site, and we want to save that output into that 10 files, then we can save it with the help of a byte array output stream. Okay, next. In this stream, the data is written into a byte array which can be written to multiple streams. Okay, so we will see how to write it into byte array through program. Till now, only remember that the data is written into a byte array which can be written in multiple streams like that. It holds a copy of data and forward it to multiple streams. Okay, means whenever we are using byte array output stream, it will first make a copy of that data, and after making its copy, it forward it to multiple files. Okay, the buffer of a byte array output stream automatically grows according to data. Means here flexibility is provided to memory. Suppose we have created one single data. Means suppose we have created one single sentence, okay, and we want to copy that sentence to all those files. At that time, as per requirement, it will grow its buffer size. Okay, suppose 10 copies are there, then according to that, 10 times that buffer size is get increased likewise. Okay, so these are the main uses of byte array output stream. Now again, it is having different declaration through classes, right? This is the one class. So whenever we are considering class, it may have different constructors, different methods. So we have to see which constructors are available in this stream and which methods are available in this stream. So we can complete our task very easily. Okay. So its syntax is normal, like we are creating object of a class likewise. So syntax is same one. So we will see which constructors are available in output stream. According to constructor rule, the name is same, only we have to check the parameters. This is the default constructor. It creates a new byte array output stream with the initial capacity of 32 bytes through its size increases if necessary. Now see, you can see over here that statement. The buffer of byte array output stream automatically grows according to data. It means initially it will allocate here 32 bytes for that object. But whenever we will use that object, means whenever we are using that array for multiple outputs, actually sizes get multiplied by 32 bytes. Okay, so this is the use. And second constructor is a parameter. Here we have provided int which create a new byte array output stream with a buffer specified size in bytes. Now you can see over here, whenever we are using the default constructor, by default it will provide you 32 bytes as a size, buffer size. Okay, and whenever you are providing here size of that buffer, it will take only that much size. Okay, so this is the advantage of both the constructors. So according to your use, you can use the constructor. Okay, next. Have you taken a screenshot? If not, you can take it. I will provide its notes at the end of this chapter, so don't worry about it. If you want to take its screenshot, you can. Okay, now I will move towards the next part. Right now we have covered the constructor. Now we will move towards the method. For streams part, you will have some theory also. That's why we need to see it. Because if you don't know which methods constructors are there, then you cannot implement it in your programs. Okay. So now we are moving towards the methods. So these are the different methods which are comes under the byte array output stream class. Okay. As per your use, you can use these methods. So I will explain it one by one. Okay. First method, integer size. Okay, whenever we are taking any method with data type like int, byte, string, likewise, it must return some value. Okay, so according to that, it is used to return the current size of a buffer. Means if you want to find out the size of your buffer in this class, you can use the method int size as we have seen in the constructor. Okay, through constructor you can provide the size also, and whatever size is provided through constructor to particular object you can see with the help of a int size object, sorry, method. Okay, next method is byte to byte array. It is used to create a newly allocated byte array. Okay, means whenever you are creating new object, at that time some memories get provided and that memory allocation will be done with the help of a byte array. Then string to string. Third method, string to string. It is used for converting the content into a string, decoding bytes using a platform default character set. Have you understood its meaning? What it has done? It used to convert the content into a strings, decoding bytes. Okay, it means it will convert whatever string you have provided into bytes by conversion, means by converting into binary number using a platform default character set. Okay, whatever character set is provided, according to that it will be converted into binary, and it means nothing but the decoding bytes. Okay, next. Same method is there, but they have provided one parameter, string parameter character set name. Okay, it is used to converting the content into a string decoding bytes using a specified character set name. In previous method, default character set is there, and this method you will provide a specified character set name. Okay, so this is the difference between these two methods. Then third one, write, and in that one parameter is provided. Why this parameter is there? It is used to writing the byte specified to the byte array output stream. Okay, that's why this B is provided. Then second method of write, which contains the three parameters. First one is a B, byte B, integer offset and integer length. Okay, so these are the three parameters. It is basically used to writing the length bytes from specified byte array starting from the offset of to the byte array output string. Okay, so whenever we want to access some data from that array, we can use this method. Only mentioned data will be fetched from given string. Okay, next, write to method, and here output stream out. This is the object. It is used to writing the complete content of a byte array output stream to the specified output stream. Okay, we will see separately the output stream in the, if possible, we will cover it in the today's lecture, otherwise in the next lecture. This is having some separate part also, as you have seen over here, array output stream likewise. Okay, so in that part we will cover those. Only remember that you have to do the, you have to complete the content of a byte array output stream to specified output stream. Okay, next, void reset. It is used to reset the count field of a byte array output stream to zero value. Means after using it, we have to remove that data from that stream. You can use the reset. So it will convert it into zero value. And close is used to close the byte array output stream. Okay, as per name, it is working. Okay, so first you take it down if you want to take it, so we can start the its program. We don't require all these methods togetherly. Whenever it uses them, then we can use it, but for simply reading and writing, only some methods are required, only 2 to 3 methods, not all methods. Only for reference purpose you should know it, then and then only you can find it out what we are doing in our program. So while explaining that program, I will again show you this table so you can understand the difference between each method. Okay, now I will move towards the programs. I have currently taken that program from the Java T point directly, so you can refer that program also. If I have designed from my side, then what will happen if you are doing your study? It may happen that you will make confusion between your logics. That's why I have taken same program which we have mentioned from that. Java deploy. Okay, that's why I have specifically kept that name over here. If you want to do it, you can refer those programs also, because for each and every stream they have provided a separate program. Okay, because in that site you will find out uh, you can run your programs. They have provided compiler there only, so you can check it by compiling and by running on the same page. Okay, because some of you are not having a laptop with you, so this is the best way. Otherwise you can run these programs on the online editor, no issues. Okay, so see here, first I will explain it. This is the name of your class. Okay, then this is the main method, throws exception. It means if exception is occur, when exception will occur, whenever that file is not present or whenever that file is not open as per our given instruction, at that time only exception will occur. Otherwise smooth working of a program is there, so only that cases exception will be there. Otherwise there is no any interruption to our program. Okay, now see, we have already covered file in output stream in previous lecture. According to that, we have created object of file output stream, then a path of your text file with its name. Okay, now here two files has created. For that purpose, two objects are get created over here to access these files. Because what we have to do, we have to write same value in the two files. That's why we have done the two separate objects. Now see, this is the byte array output stream, and we have created its object as a byte out, b out. Okay. Out dot write. What we have to write? We have to write data into our files. Now I will move towards that table. Only see, we have used b dot out write. This is the write method, and use of write method is what you can see here. It is used to writing the bytes specified to the byte array output string. Here we can provide the only bytes size. Means this 65 is the ASCII value of capital A. So we can provide here, we are providing here, those bytes are get converted into text and those bytes are get saved in this files. Okay, so this is write method. Next, write to आपल्याला कोणत्या फाईल मध्ये सेव्ह करायचे आहे हा डेटा, तर फाईल आउट f_out_1 म्हणजेच f1.text and same process will be there for f2.text. That's why write to method is there. Now we will move towards that chat. You can specify over there. See here, write to method. Okay, it is used to writing the complete content of a byte array output stream to specified output stream. Okay, right now we are writing those data into file output stream. That's why we have provided object of a file output stream, f_out_1 and f_out_2. After that we have to flush it, means whatever data we have stored with the help of this object we have to flush it, and after that we have to close that stream. But whenever we are flushing our data, there is no necessity to write this close, but for syntactical purpose we have written this. Okay, that's why no effect of this close. Whenever we are flushing that data, all data is get removed, no issues about it. Then if we want to check it whether our data is done, means whether our program is done completely or not, at that time we can use this println method. Okay, here we can pass our own message also, so that we can find out whatever we have done in this program we have completed very easily. Okay, so this is the meaning of this statement. Any queries regarding this program? Otherwise I will execute it. Yes, just check it. so I can move towards its execution. Because after long time we have started these streams, because in previous week only one lecture we have done. One lecture has missed some other activities, and in previous lecture we have conducted the test. So if you are having any doubts regarding that streams part, you can ask. Otherwise, I will execute this program. Okay. While giving the path, first check properly. Okay. Sorry, I have mentioned the single quote. If anybody has tried for this while completing your programs, now see its meaning is get different because we have used here. Yes.
Directly copy that path.
Directly.
We can't give by its own. If we try to give it by own, then it will generate the error.
Yes, I have copied directly. Still, it is doing like this. Okay, I will check it once. Better option. By default, it is taking like this. Okay. Let's check it. No, for this syntax is different to access such a data. So right now I will keep this in the same one. I will share this information with you either in the next lecture or if possible in the today's lecture, because there is some rule is there whenever we are having the gap between words. And that files are get created over here, so I will open that part also. Okay, now you can see that files are not there. That's why it has given the exception. Okay, because that files are not available here, right? You can see through this program. Throws exception, right? We have provided here throws exception. And what we have mentioned here, file output stream, and we want these files. We have not created any file in through this program, and these files are not available in that folder also. So what you have to do, you can create those files by giving name as a F1 and M2. Okay, blank files are there. Now what we will do, we will again run the, now files are available. Just 1 minute. Just 1 minute, I will check it. If anybody has tried this,
Ma'am,
yes.
means I also did the same program, but I have used the means what we can say different way in different drive, and I had provided that path.
Okay. Can you share your
But
screen?
actually, I'm operating through my phone.
Yes, no issues. You can share your screen. Okay, see here what happened. 1 minute, Fiza. I will explain it. Then you can share your screen. Okay. Till that period, you can try whether it is shared or not. Fiza.
Yeah,
Hello.
just 1 minute. I have to check. Means I think so. There is a no battery
Okay.
in my laptop, so
Okay. 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 You can tell me after checking.
yeah, ma'am.
Yes. Okay. I have written here package, right? But I have not created or I'm not using any package to store this data. That's why that error is there. I have removed that package. Then there is no issue about this succeeded. Okay, that's why we have written this message at the end of this class, so you can verify that whether your program is get successfully linked or not. Okay, now you can check over here that program is get successfully linked. Now this 65 is get converted into capital A and that will be stored into both the files F1 and F2. Okay. 1 minute. I will show you it simultaneously. Okay. We have written 65 in write method and this is the ASCII value of capital A and that value is get converted into letters and that is stored into these two text files as we have mentioned in our program, right? Okay, so I will open all those files so you can take it screenshot very easy. Let me adjust those files. Okay, so you can take it screenshot. Okay. Yes, Fiza, have you checked it?
Yeah, ma'am. In the next lecture, definitely I will show that program. But now,
Okay.
There is no charge in my laptop.
Okay, no issues. Okay, next lecture you can show it, no issues. Have you taken a screenshot so we can move towards the byte array input stream?
Wait, ma'am. Just 1 second.
Okay. Take it properly, otherwise it may generate errors. That's why I have taken same example which we are having in the
Yeah, ma'am, I have taken.
okay. Anybody has remained? Yes, anybody has remained? Okay, so we will move towards the next byte array input stream. Okay. Right now what we have done, we have written our data into output files, right, with the help of a output stream of a byte array. Now what we are going to do, we are composing two words, right, that is the byte array and input stream to complete this class byte array input stream. As the name suggests, it can be used to read byte array as a input stream. Okay, according to name only you can find out this is used for the to read byte array as an input stream. Java byte array input stream class contains an internal buffer which is used to read byte array as a stream. In this stream, the data is read from the byte array. Okay, like output stream, the data is written with the help of a byte array. In same fashion, it is read by the help of byte array. The buffer of a byte array input stream automatically grows according to data as per output stream. Same process is there. Okay. Here also different constructors are available for the byte array input stream and methods are also available. Out of that, same constructor is there, but while doing the output stream, we are having only two constructors. One is the default and one is the parameterized. But here both are the parameterized constructors. So this is the simply difference you can keep with you. So it will be very easy for you. First constructor is a byte array input stream. Okay, in that one array is provided. Okay, so you can use the short form or you can give your own names also for the byte declaration. Okay, this is the array part, so you can design your own names. It creates a new byte array output stream which uses array as its buffer size. Okay, so as per use it can vary because whatever data we are provided, according to that its sizes get varied. Then second constructor, it has three parameters. First is a byte array, then offset and length. It creates a new byte array input stream which uses array as its buffer array that can be read up to the specified length of a byte of a data from an array. So whenever we are providing any data to that program, as per requirement, that particular part is read with the help of this offset and length parameter. Okay, means only required data we will read. Remaining part we will leave as it is. Okay, so this is the main use of this second constructor. Then we have seen the constructor. Now we will see some methods. Okay, these are the some methods which are available for the byte array input stream class. Okay, first method, int available. It is mainly used to return the number of remaining bytes that can be read from the input stream. Okay, means suppose from system side it has provided some limit, and whenever we want to check which data is remain with us, we can check it, means we can check the bytes with the help of int available. Okay, remaining bytes. Then integer read. It is mainly used to read the next byte of a data from the input stream. And again, second one having three parameters. One is the array of bytes, offset of a, and length. It is mainly used to read up the length of a bytes of a data from an array of a bytes in the input stream. Okay, so this is the main use. Then fourth one is a Boolean mark supported. Why this is used? It is used to test the input stream for mark and reset method. Okay, means whenever we have read some data from that stream, that will be marked as a read and it will be reset automatically whenever we are using this method. Then here it has boolean values, means either it will be marked or it will be unmarked. Only two possibilities are there. Okay, then long skip, and it has one parameter long x. Its use is that to skip the x bytes of input from the output input stream. Means whatever data we will require, only that much we will take it. Remaining data we will skip it. Okay. Then void mark int read ahead limit, means we can mention the limit of that position. Okay, it is used to set the current marked position in the stream. And again, reset method is there and close method is there. Okay, so these are the common methods, so you can remember it very easily. So you can take it screenshot, so we can move towards the program. Okay, so we will move towards the program. I will remove this because we are not saving our program, sorry, data into that package. So it will create some error. So I will remove it first. Okay, first of all, check this program, then I will explain it. Okay, so we will see that example. This is the name of a class as usual. This is the main method and it throws an exception, right? To handle if any exception will be there, it will be get handled. Only that purpose this is provided. Now see, here we have provided an array of byte buffer, right? In that we have provided four values from 35 to 38. This create a new byte array inputs.
Ma'am,
Yes,
ma'am,
yes.
sorry for interruption, but your screen is not visible. Probably you have to share your screen again.
Okay, 1 minute. If not possible, I will rejoin it. Okay.
Okay, ma'am. Okay, no issue.
Okay, now is it visible? Okay, I will start from here. This is the one array, byte array having name as above, which contains four values from 35 to 38. And then this is the object of a byte array input stream, and here we have provided that buffer, means that array, as we have seen in constructor. I will show it. Okay, this is the constructor. Okay, we have used this constructor. It automatically give size to that buffer. Okay, so we have passed that object, means that array over here. Then we have created one integer value, that is the integer k, right? Then while loop is used for to read all those data which are present in the byte, means whatever data it has, that data will be get read with the help of this. Okay, so this is the main use of a while loop. Then character, we have to convert it into character, right? So for converting integer value to character, we need this method. Okay, so whatever integer value is there, it means it will be read as a ASCII value, and that is converted into the character, and that character is get stored in the ch, and that will be printed in front of us. And in that we have written one message. ASCII value of character, suppose firstly 35 is there, and special character which is present with the help of a 35 is get printed on the console. Okay, so this is the very simple program to take the input from the buffer, that is the byte. So I will execute it. Here we have not used any file because we are writing this data on the console only. If you want to implement on file, you can use the file also. Okay, okay, so total four values are there: 35, 36, 37, and 38. Okay, 35 is the ASCII value for hash, then 36 for the dollar, 37 is for the percentage, and 38 for the average. Okay, so you can check for any character value, and according to that you can find out its answer. 1 minute, I will scroll it so you can take its screenshot simultaneously. Okay, before moving to the next part, first give the presently, and then we will move towards the next one.
Mom,
Yes,
mom, can you explain once again?
whole program.
Yeah, mom, because there is a network issue on my side.
Okay. See here, while taking input with the help of a byte array string, first we will create an array of a byte. Okay, and in that array we will provide the ASCII values. Okay, because let me show it first. You can see here, these two constructors are there. This first constructor is used for the taking the input as a buffer array, and second will find out the offset and length of that array, only particular part. Right now we are using this constructor. Okay, means whole array. According to that, first we have created object of a byte array input stream as a byte, byt. If I have written here as a byt, it means a meaning of a data type. That's why only byt is written. Okay, that is the main concept behind this. And while creating its object, we have passed the same array which we have declared over here as a byte buff over as a parameter. Okay, next we have declared one parameter which is the integer one as a 0. While loop is used because we have to read the array one by one. Okay, and after reading it we have to convert it into character. Okay, So we will read this data with the help of a read method. Okay, and byt.read, it means we have to read the data from given buffer. Okay, and up to which limit we have to read, that array must be finished, means at the end of that array. That's why -1 will be used. You have already used this while loop, so you can use it very easily. Then this sentence, character ch is equal to char of a k, means k is nothing but we are storing these values in the k, and according to that we are converting into character. This 35 is the value of this k right now for this loop, and that 35 is nothing but the ASCII value. So this is converted into character. Whatever character is present for that value that will be printed on the console, and for printing purpose we have used this statement. Okay, means for that particular ASCII value that special character is there. Okay, for 35 hash is there, then $36 is there, then 37 percentage, and for 38 apprent symbol is there. Okay, have you understood?
Yeah, ma'am. It's understood.
Okay, so you can take it screenshots, or if you want to write down it, you can. That's why I have kept this windows like this, so you can do it. Okay, if you have done it, then we will first take the attendance, and then we will move towards the next parts. Okay. Start calling roll numbers. Roll number 1, Swaradi.
Present, ma'am.
Okay. Roll number 2,
Present, ma'am.
3,
Present, ma'am.
4. Roll number 4, Sakshi. Roll number 5,
Present, ma'am.
6. Roll number 6, 7. Sarika. Okay. 8,
Present, ma'am.
9. Okay. 10. Roll number 10. Okay. 11.
Present,
Yes,
ma'am.
Pratiksha, I have noted. Yes, noted. 11 is there. 12.
Yes, ma'am. Present.
Yes, Pratiksha. Okay, 11 is present. 12,
Present, ma'am.
13.
Present, ma'am.
Okay, 14,
Present, ma'am.
15,
Present, ma'am.
16.
Present, ma'am.
Okay, 17. 17 is there.
Present, ma'am.
Okay, 18. 18 is there. 18. Manisha. 19. 19. 20. Siddhali.
Present. Yes, ma'am.
21, 21, 22,
Present, ma'am.
23,
Present, ma'am.
24, 24, 25,
Present, ma'am.
26, okay, 27, 29, 28 is there. Roll number 28. Okay. 29 is present. 30, 30, 31, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35,
35 present, ma'am.
38, 39, 39, 40,
39
okay,
present, ma'am.
40, 41, 'Am I audible? Hello. Am I audible? 40, 41, 41 is there. 42, 43, 44, 45 is there. 46, okay. 47, 48, 48, 49, 49, 50, 50 is there. Okay. 51, okay. 52, 52 is there. 53, 54, 55, okay. 56, 56, 57, 58, 59, 59 is there. 60, 61, okay. 62, 63, 64, 65, 66 is there. 67, 68, 68, 69, 70, 71, 72,
Present, ma'am.
okay. 73, 74, 75,
Present, ma'am.
okay. 76, 77, 78, 79, and okay, 80. I will write here absent roll numbers. Check anybody is present from this list. What happened? Why this much absent is there for today's lecture? Is there any training is going on? Yes. Yes, and anybody of you have applied for training for 2 days? Check this list. If anybody is present, then tell me. Okay, 21. 29. 37. 57. Okay. Anybody else? Yes. Out of this four, anybody is present from this list? Okay. So we will move towards the next part. Is there any doubts from your side? Or if you want to share some programs to us, you can share it, because right now my screen is in not sharing mode, so you can share it from your side. Yes. Because this is some theoretical part. Right now we are doing some theoretical as well as practicals. So if we want to share some new concepts which you have learned from your side, or if we have implemented with the help of this syllabus, you can share it. Yes, Rohan. Because this is the programming subject, right? You should do at least with the help of a online compiler, because these programs you can do with the help of an online compiler. Only problem is with files. You cannot implement files through online compiler, right? So you can keep that part aside, but remaining part you can do it. Yes, Rohan, have you done any program from your side? It may be from first chapter, no issues. No, not right here, sorry. Only I'm asking. Yes.
Which program? Means you have given any homework?
Yes, it may be from homework, or if you have implemented from your side as per as your interest, you can show it, no issues. Not from my given list, you can use your own interest also. Yes, anybody has tried? Because this is the very basic concepts, right? For Python also it will be required. Yes.
Implicit, explicit typecasting.
Have you done it?
Yeah.
Can you show it?
Yeah.
Okay. Still now we have not covered typecasting part. Okay.
Just wait for a few seconds,
Yes,
ma'am.
yes. No issues.
Just I have to set the path.
Okay, you can set. Because after completion of this chapter, we will move towards the typecasting, because you know what is the streams, what is the exception, so you can find out which exception is there due to which conversion. Okay, that's why I have kept that part aside. So after completion, it may happen that in next lecture your this chapter will be get completed. So we will cover first typecasting in the one lecture, then nested classes also, and garbage collection, which are the remaining part from second chapter. And after completion of this, we will move towards the fourth chapter, Java collection. These lectures must be gone interactively because this is the programming language. Okay, so from your side also input must be there because we are on the verge of interesting part. तुम्ही जेवढा इंटरेस्ट घेताल तेवढं तुम्हाला प्रोग्रामिंग इझी जाईल आणि तुम्हाला तुमचे प्रोजेक्ट्स अदर लँग्वेजेस मधून करताना सुद्धा इझी जाईल कारण की तुम्हाला बेसिक सगळं माहित झालेलं असतं राईट. Okay, have you started on the Python also? Because if we have learned the Python, you will find out this is the very easy language because uh, too much code is not there. Only one sentence code is there. Okay, so simultaneously work on both Java as well as Python. For your final year projects and third year projects, Python is the best. And for means whenever you will require security, at that time Java is used, but JSP and servlet is the main part. Okay, if you want to design some sites with the help of database and some security as well as other algorithms, in that case Java is also best. Uh, whether you are having any problem regarding that test which we have covered in previous lecture. Okay. Yes, Peter. Okay, I think Fiza has left due to network issues. We will move towards the next point. If when she will join, we will see her program. Okay. Okay. So next part is a 1 minute. I will share my screen. Fiza, have you joined with the another?
Yeah, ma'am.
1 minute. I will stop my presentation.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Uh, you have given me rights of presenting the screen.
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Yes, all of you. You can also start working on it because uh, at the end of this lecture, we will have 5 to 10 minutes, right? So in that, you can share your data. Okay.
Ma'am, my screen is visible.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, 1 minute. So this is the means simple program of explicit conversion. After that, I also show the program of implicit.
Okay.
Hmm.
Okay. So you have taken one number and you are converting into integer, right?
Yeah, yeah,
In the first, that is in the explicit means
yeah.
right. And in the second one, you have
Just
taken one right, and you are converting into string. Okay,
yeah.
all of you, you can see this program.
And
In first program, yes.
okay, explain it.
No, no. If you want to, you can. No issues. Hello, hello, pizza. Yes, pizza. You can.
Just means I have to tell them like value of is a function of the string.
Okay.
Uh, yeah,
Okay.
means it will. Okay.
Can you run it?
Yeah.
Right. If you want to explain it, you can.
Yeah, I'm sure. Just I have taken the means integer. Sorry, no new. Just I have taken one number and I have converted that number. Means first thing is that if we have passed the number in double quote in the Java, if we assign like suppose it is treated as a string. If we want to convert that string, only that kind of string is converted into integer. If abc is there, then this kind of means string can be converted into integer, but by using some another function we can what we can say, we can retrieve the ascii value of it. Hello.
Hello. Yes, yes. I have muted my mic. Otherwise, it will generate echo. That's why I have muted it. Okay.
Okay.
Yes, you have correctly.
Just I have converted one string value that is into integer, and one floating double value into integer.
Right.
Nothing more.
Correct. Okay. Right. Okay, all of you understood it. We will see in the next lectures. No issues. Because we have not learned. Because we have to first complete the exception. That's why. But if anybody is trying like this, then it's okay. Okay. Because you are on the right track. If you are doing like this. Okay. Anything you have done other than this? And if you want to show it, you can.
Just ma'am, wait. I have to check something is new apart from our syllabus.
Okay. All of you can do it, right? If you want from your side, you can do it. It may take hardly half an hour, not more than that. If you are stable and if you are working on it, then it will take hardly half an hour to check all these possibilities. Okay, like we have explained the JUnit testing in previous to previous lecture, right? So this is the very simple concept of a testing. We have not learned a deep about testing. So such a techniques you can learn which are based on the Python working. Java working. So you can use those also, and you can create your own programs, or you can copy from net and you can change according to your use and you can show over here. Okay, so try to do this because this is the right time, because you are having much time as per your regular college, right? In regular college, you are having limited time, and apart from that, you are having another activities also. But right now, you are at the home, you are having only 5 hours lectures. So after that, you can try all these possibilities. Okay, you can search on the Google, you can find out the different projects which are based on such a properties or such a topics, and you can complete that task. Okay, this will be helpful for your projects only, not for us. Okay, because whenever you will in the B at the time of interviews, it will be very easy for you. Okay, because you have handled different types of a program simultaneously, so you know which program is required, means which statements are required for which one. Okay.
Ma'am,
Yes.
means if you haven't any problem, then just for 15 or for 20 minutes, I explain what is a basic means first chapter, and I also show the programs of it.
Okay, no
Yes,
issues.
I have the PDF of that.
Okay, yes, you can. This is actually required from your side. Okay, everybody can try on it. We will keep 15 to 20 minutes from our lecture, and you can just discuss with us. It may happen that your confidence will be get increased. Okay, because from here onwards, it may happen that sometimes interview will be happen online. So you must be ready to give the interviews online. Yes, Prajakta, I have noted. Because right now we are unable to complete the lab manual by sitting in the lab. Only this is the
Ma'am,
way. Yes,
whether my screen is visible, then
yes,
I
your
can.
screen is visible.
Where it is? Yeah.
So only this is the way. It may be considered as your lab test or lab marks. Okay. So all this.
Ma'am, it is notes of my diploma. So
Okay.
okay, just what is that means who. What is the history behind the Java exactly means that everyone knows the Java is developed by the James Gosling means
Yes.
and first of all means in the previous when the Java is developed, the Java is basically they are calling it as a oak because what means when the when this language is developed, the James Gosling stood beside a tree, and that tree name was a oak tree. So he has given that name to that language. After some years, it was renamed. Okay, so
Okay.
everyone knows the what is a feature of the Java platform independence means what Java have the both capability means compilation and interpretation.
Yes. Correct.
And after that it will give the bytecode. It will convert the bytecode into machine code, and it is very simple language because every because we have using the classes from the packages only. We have to means we can define our own class also, but mostly all of the things in included in the package like C and CPP, we have the large number of code. So it will reduce in this language. It is purely object oriented language. Obviously Java is only operating on means classes and object. Means we have seen for every purpose we have to create an object. For inbuilt classes also, for accessing some methods also, we have to create that object of that class. And Java have the both capability compiler interpretation. Everyone knows Java is a portable. What is meant by portable? It can run on different OS also, and means we can take that class file and run on different machine also. That's why Java have the both capability, multi-threaded, and it is a part of our next. Sorry. Uh, sorry. And everyone knows Java is a means multi-threaded language, and distributed means what? As I told you, like we can kept that class file on different machine, and as we means we can run it also. And dynamic as usual, there are different methods. That's why, and it robust and secure. Why it is secure? Because it will generate the bytecode, and bytecode cannot be read by like anyone. Just example, just I will. Sorry. That's why that is a code of the Armstrong number, so it can't be readable by anyone. So it is very secure. Means why the okay, why CPP is a partially object oriented? Because it means Java is always require main function. We can't write the code without main function, but in the CPP we can write the code like without void main also in the classes. So that's why
Right.
the CPP is a partially object oriented language.
Yes, correct. Yes, Fiza. Is there any network issue from your side? Yes, Fiza. Is there any network issue? Okay. Let it be. We will wait for 1 or 2 minutes. Otherwise, we will move further. Okay. From your side also, you can take any topic. Not not from we have learned. You are having any topic from Java which you are having as an interest. You can share at the end of this lecture. Okay. Whenever we are having 2 hours lecture in that session, you can share your notes. You can make or you can write on the pages, you can scan those copies and you can explain by lecture, and you can explain with the help of a sharing option. Okay, present screen option is there with you, so you can share those PDF files by sharing. It means there is no necessity to always compile those programs in front of us from laptop only. Okay, if you are not having laptop and if you are not having possibility to run program for online compiler, then you can do one thing. You can write on the pages, you can make it images or make it PDF, and you can share with the help of a screen. Okay, and through that you can explain. There is no necessity to always you have laptop with you. Okay, only importance is that you should understand this concept and you must be able to explain it to all. Okay. Uh, check whether my screen is visible. 1 minute. Okay, my screen is visible. Okay, so we will move towards the next part. Okay, we have covered these two, byte array, output stream and input stream. Now we will move towards the next part, data output stream. Okay, this is also one class. This class allows an application to write primitive Java data type to the output stream in a machine independent way. What is the machine independent way? Anybody can explain over here? Otherwise, do one thing. First, search these data types and write in the chat box. Okay, so I can check it at the end of this lecture. Okay. So, primitive data types to the output stream in a machine independent way. Java application generally uses the data output stream to write data that can later be read by a data input stream. Okay, so this is the main use of Java application. That is the data output stream in Java. Okay, so we will move towards its method because methods are the important for us. One minute, my screen is not visible. Now is it visible? Yes, now is it visible? Hello, Aditya? Aditya Daifule, am I audible? Okay, my screen is visible? Okay. So we will see its methods. There is a no constructor to do it. Only default constructor is there. So we will directly move towards its methods. So total 7 methods are there. First one is a size. It is used to return the number of bytes written in the data output stream. Okay, as like we have seen in the previous two streams. Same process. Then write method is there. Again byte means we are providing here ASCII values, right? Then same with these three parameters, byte array, then offset and length. Okay, same. These are the same methods for the data output stream. Next one, write boolean and boolean v. It means it is used to write boolean to the output stream as a 1 byte value. Okay, so this is the main use of this method. Then next method is write char. Okay, through this method you can directly find out output stream as a 2 byte value. Okay, here single byte value is there and here 2 byte value is there. Then write characters. What they have mentioned? Char s, string s. It means it is used to write a string to the output stream as a sequence of a character. This is the basic use of method. Then write byte. This method is used to write a byte to the output stream as a 1 byte value. Okay, so these are the uses of these 4 methods. Okay, so we will see it one by one, so you can understand it very easily. Otherwise, it will be confused. Okay. See here. First, I have created one file. Before that, this is the output file, so I will first create it. Otherwise, it will generate the error we have seen in the previous program. Same case will be happen. So first, I will create this file text out. So this is the blank file, and in that blank file, the output will be get stored. Okay. So this file is get created. Now see. First, I will explain the program. File output stream. We have created its object, and through this object, we are accessing the output file text. Okay. So next, data output stream. First, we have created the data output stream, and likewise, constructor, we have provided name of that output file. Okay. Then, what we have to write in our file? Write int. I will show its method first. Write int method is there. Okay. I have mentioned only char int method over here. These are the remaining methods from this. Okay. As like characters, same methods are available for integer short, then write short with another, then long and UTF. Okay, so same methods are available as per our data types. Okay, so these are the ways to access the data. So according to that, first I have used the write integer method to convert ASCII value into character value. Okay, and by defaultly these values get converted into character. You can show over here. It is used to write an integer to the output stream. Okay, so it will directly take as an input integer value. So I will execute the program. Automatically that file is get created. Means that data will be get submitted to this file, and that file is nothing but a text out. You can see here. It will be converted into ASCII to character. Okay. So this is the way you can see output as well as program togetherly. So this is the use of data output stream. Okay. Take its screenshot. It's very easy program as compared to previous streams. Only we have to create object of a file output stream, then object of a data output stream, and we have to access the different methods which are available for the data output stream. Okay. Only one point is remain, that is the data input stream. Okay, still different streams are there, but for today's lecture, this much part is there. Okay, so I will move towards that part. Okay, data input stream. Data input stream class allows an application to read primitive data from input stream in a machine independent way. Same process is there, only we are dealing with the input stream, right? Java application generally uses the data output stream to write data that can be later be read by a data input stream. Okay, here these are the some methods. First one is a read method used to read the numbers of a bytes from the input stream. Okay, next one is a read which are having offset and length, both the values. Then read int. It is used to read input bytes and return an integer value. Okay, only remember that description. According to your use, you can visit to these methods and you can use it in your program. Okay. In output stream you have seen same. That is the integer, byte, double, short, long methods are there. In same way, here also different methods are there. You can see here. In first integer read it there, then read byte, read can, read double, read boolean, likewise. And skip bytes you have already seen in previous stream. UTF. It is used to read a string that has been encoded using the UTF-8 format. UTF means Unicode system. Okay, Unicode system is there, so it will be converted into that part. That's why this separate method is there. For reading purpose, same method, and for writing purpose, write UTF method is there. Okay, so two methods are there. One is for input and one is for output. And then read fully. Meaning of this is what? It is used to read length bytes from the input stream. Okay, so these are the different methods which are available for the data input stream. So we will see its one example. Okay, you can see over here. I will kept output in the same file, that is the text which we have already created, and you can see that here when data is there, this file. So what will happen if data is present in this file? Okay, you can see that logic also. Okay. First, I have created input stream object, right? We will see. We have not covered this part, that is the output stream and input stream. We will cover in the next lecture because we have covered data input stream, data output stream, file input stream, and file output stream. But still, file reading, writing properties are remain because these streams are totally dependent on each other. That's why we can't cover simultaneously. We have to move one by one. Okay. Then that input object is provided to data input stream. Okay, then count is there. Available method is used to see actual values are available over here. Then byte array, read array values. Okay, according to that it will be converted. So first what will do, I will remove this. What will happen, you can see over here. I have removed that space. Now I will execute it. Now see what it has happened because I have written here 1. Okay, that's why this error is happened. Okay, whatever we have stored in that file is get read with the help of this one. This minus character is present because you can see here. After that, no data is there. That's why that minuses get printed over here. Its meaning is what? We have completed our data. Okay, whatever data is present, that is the key. And for completion purpose, we have added here one minus symbol that will be printed on console. Okay, so you can write your own message also. We have done this task or we have completed, then success likewise. Okay, so take it screenshot. Any doubts regarding this program? Have you taken screenshots? Okay. If you are having any queries, you can ask. Otherwise, we will stop here. No queries?